Stop the false propaganda. Stop the propaganda, man. I'm tired of seeing the same regurgitated echo chamber that a lot of y'all toxic, casual, quote unquote, players are spewing inside the Destiny community, okay? So I decided to make a video basically debunking and showing evidence, because y'all think I just be talking like, bro, I'm an intellectual. I have obviously evidence and statistics, okay? I love statistics. So I'm gonna make this video basically disproving some of the common key points that a lot of the casual players be saying on my videos in the comment section that just be blatant lies and just be wrong. It just be wrong. And I'm going to consider us the 1%, but I'll get to that in this video as well. But I will be using the 1% in casual stance in this video, since that's the terms people love to be using these days in the Destiny community. So the first point I want to touch on is the portal was made for 1% players. Here go an article, a dev insight from Bungie, September 9th, 2024, where Bungie brought up the portal when they first introduced it about being inside Frontiers, now known as, Edge Fate and whatnot. If you see right here, the problem, this is the reason why Bungie made the portal. The destination map, also called the director, is Destiny's venerable activity, browsing, and selection screen. Over the years, it has grown to be very unwieldy, making it harder to find specifically what current and worthwhile to play, and requiring ever more expert knowledge to navigate to find what you are looking for. Even current players can have difficulty finding a new activity, while new or returning players have even greater trouble. Every time someone comes to my video and say the portal was made for the 1%, I tell them every time, Bungie made the portal for the casuals, because, and the new returning players and new players, because they were getting lost on the destination page. They couldn't find where the quest was at. They didn't know what activity they needed to do once they got thrown into the game, because the onboarding new light thing is not that good teaching players. But they was getting lost on the destination page, or what planet to go to, where their quest is at, and all that type of stuff, right? I even got some people in my clan, they play Destiny on a regular basis, and even some of them, they'll be confused, and that's why I be fighting lead sometimes, because I do know how to navigate it, right? And returning players of Destiny, sometimes even they be confused after not playing the game for months and weeks, right? So Bungie made the portal to help people navigate to activities quicker without having to go through loading screens on going to a planet and stuff to start a lost sector or something like that. And there's proof online of players playing the New Light campaign, whatever, before Edge of Fate came out, and they literally would get lost on the destination page because of all the extra pop-ups telling them what quest they can start and stuff, and what expansion they can buy and all that type of stuff. So this was Bungie's solution. Was it implemented bad? Yes, but this was Bungie's solution, okay? If you want to read this whole developer insight on the portal and why they made it, I gave you the date and everything and the name of it, so you can go check it out. But they literally speak on that sole purpose I just said, on the reason why the portal was made. It was not made because of the 1%. I don't know where that lie came from, but yeah. Then, if you go to big content creators like Llama and Adacross videos and whatnot, when they first spoke about the portal, this was people's opinions on the portal and a little bit of misunderstanding, because Bungie said they wasn't getting rid of the destination tab. People assumed, oh, so everything inside the portal, I can still just go there through the destination tab. But even though Bungie said they wanted their portal to be the main system in the game, people thought the destination tab was still going to be like, available to use outside of the portal, but that wasn't the case. So yeah, but with this clip right here, a lot of people in the community, including Adacross, have mixed feelings about the portal.
So I feel like everybody's pretty mixed on the whole portal change. I see more pros than cons from this, because if I don't want to use the system, I don't have to. I can literally just go and choose the destination I want to go to, and that's that. I think that this will just serve as, you know, a good thing for returning play. And maybe, dude, what if there's some bonus rewards here that I want? Maybe me, you know, I'm like, I might do a fire team op for a specific weapon that might be dropping from it. I don't know. I don't think this is as big of a deal as it's being made out to be right now.
So now let's move.
Boy, did that not age well. But that goes to show people in the community, they wasn't leaping for joy for the portal. Like, even the content creators were a little bit confused and was like, we'll just have to wait and see, because we was used to the destination tab. So that was the one thing about the portal, why it was made. Bungie said they made it so it's easier for people to find activities, know where the loot is going to be at, what to do to get that loot, without having to try to find the quest and search through the directory with all the planets and stuff. That was the reason. It was to make it easier for casual and returning players and new players. That was the sole purpose of that, okay? But it goes deeper. Bungie has spoke about solo ops, right? Bungie has spoke about solo ops, and they wanted the game to be more friendly towards solo players. They wanted the game to, and this is just another article they came out with, just like the portal article around the same time last year, okay? But basically, they made the solo ops portion inside the portal because they said we got a lot of solo players in the game, and we want to be able to give them something to do, basically a fast food content where basically they know if they jump to this activity, it only takes them 5 minutes, or it'll only take them 10 minutes to beat it. You know what I'm saying? So they did that for the people that work jobs and stuff, and they can't spend that much time into the game. They don't have that many friends, so they can still hop on the game and play it. I'm bringing this up just to show you guys more points that Bungie literally stated out their own mouths. They were making the portal to be very casual friendly for onboarding new players and for returning players. I even have people in my comment section say they love the portal because everything is free inside it. But I'll get to that point later in this video. But everybody got lied to by Bungie, and that's what I want to point out as well in this video. If you go back to all the stuff Bungie explained was going to be inside Edge of Fate before it got released, a lot of stuff they did not implement and held their word basically on. Solo ops, they literally said you will run into a treasure goblin, which would be quote unquote the high value target we see, but they don't drop any treasure. It just make your points go up. They said secret passageways and rooms will be opening up while you're playing the activity normally. That would be closed, but it opened up for that run. There's no secret paths opening up while you're playing solo ops and stuff. It's the same thing every single time. They said it's gonna be random treasure chests inside the activity to give you more loot, and give you more bonus to your final score, like say right here. We didn't get that either. They said solo ops will still be able to be ran with 3-player fire teams. We didn't get that either. There's a lot of lies that Bungie said that's not inside the portal. They also said if you're doing a mission very well, they'll start throwing more enemies your way because the system will learn how good you are at the game. That didn't happen. They said they'll change the enemy types and stuff, adjusting to your skill at the game. That didn't happen. So it's a lot of stuff Bungie lied about that was supposed to come to the portal, especially inside solo ops, that just never came to keep the game fresh and immersive. Then what I really want to point out in this Atacross video is a lot of solo players were happy that Bungie added solo ops in the game. They were happy that and just to give y'all specifics, this video is called Master W for solo players, solo ops Destiny 2 Frontier. If you skim through this video, there's one part that Atacross asked players how do they feel about this being a solo player. Here go, right here. I'll play it for you guys.
Best team right now, like obviously, like most of us here probably get a few. Just playing to support Banes. That's multiple plays. All right,
here you go. You finna ask them, the solo players, how y'all feel about the solo op portal.
You guys something. Do you feel like Destiny right now, like obviously like most of us here probably get a fire team and we play with fire teams and whatnot. Do you feel like it is currently solo unfriendly? I'm getting a lot of yes.
All of them said yes. They said it's not solo friendly. Okay? Bungie made the solo ops portal for solo players to be more friendly, and a lot of solo players are casual players. Okay?
A lot of yeses. It's most fun with friends. I will agree this.
Because most the quote unquote 1% are the people that's able to do raids and dungeons and stuff. They have friends to play the game with. Bungie made the solo op for the casual players.
Most fun with friends. However, for someone who picks up Destiny for the first time, maybe the solo ops is something that will take them through the content a bit better, get them warmed up, you know, give them something to do. I do agree the game.
Now, if you go through the comment section of this video, you literally have comments like casuals rise up, but not together. Making friends is scary. You got people saying freaking solo ops reusing underused locations is actually great. There are so many spaces in Destiny 2. Like, people are happy about this. You know, people are happy about that. I've been playing solo for a lot of 10 years. Basically explaining they hate the, you know, playing with other players, so they're happy about this, right? Someone saying, find something I can do on my own when I decide I had enough selling my clan. But like, if you scroll through this comment section, people were rejoicing that they can play the game by themselves. And now, as you see the game, people are sad that their friends stop playing and they have no one to play the game with. So, this is a change that was catered to the solo players. This wasn't casual players. This wasn't something that the content creators them asked for. We have friends to play with. In live service games, it's best to have friends to play with. But, yeah, there's just another example of, I don't know where y'all got the idea that the portal was made for the quote-unquote 1%. Bungie made the portal not only to cater to the casual players, the returning players, the new players, but Bungie also made the portal because they was trying to copy their competitors, the other live service competitors like Diablo, okay? That's why you see the treasure goblin term inside here, you know, with the buzzwords and whatnot they was using. It was to copy off Diablo and stuff, like the whole power reset in each season and whatnot. They was trying to compete with them because they seen that their community over there was doing good, so they was hoping that maybe it would do well for, you know, Destiny players over here. But the thing is, though, you got to commit on going to that one side. If Bungie's gonna try to go strictly RPG with this game, they gotta turn off the deaf noise, you know, the echo chambers of the haters, and still focus on that route, and they'll get the new player base that do enjoy that RPG aspects. But yeah, we all got lied to about a lot of things they added here. They even said higher difficulty give you more loot. We didn't get that. The quality of the loot went up some, I guess. But yeah, with increased power of the drop. But like, we didn't get more loot from doing harder activities. It was just yeah, you know, we all got duped. Okay, we all got duped, and the portal was what their purpose was for the casuals. Did it fail the casuals as well? Yes, but it was for the casuals. And this also goes into the custom modifiers as well. The custom modifiers were made for the game to be adjusted to the player's liking. Whether you was a try-hard player, you can make the mission harder in the portal. But like I said, it failed because even if you made it harder, you did not get more loot. That was the issue. So the tryhards didn't care for the modifying like that. Because we all was, the tryhard players or just the gamers in general, right? They knew, let me just put on these modifiers so I can complete this easiest mission ever, right? So we all just kept using the same modifier because we knew what to do in the game. We was optimized. While they also made the modifiers because people in the game was complaining about how hard the game was before Edge of Fate with the portal. Don't believe me? I got plenty of comments like these, but here's a good example. This person commented on my thing. They consider themselves a casual. They said, "You are clearly disconnected reality. I am casual and I played Destiny since D1. I have missed one season in D2, but I am too casual for in-game content, so I missed out on a lot of exotics and armor." Now, a lot of us look at that as like, okay, well, you missed out because you knew you wasn't good enough to do the in-game content, and that's the end of the discussion. But people like this casual player, they believe if they pay for the expansion, they deserve to get everything because they spend money. That's how they believe it should be. I bought plenty of games in the past. Whether you buy, even other people out there that play Dark Souls games, we all understand if you buy a video game, that does not mean you're immediately given the best loot in the game and you deserve to win. Okay, you bought the game, that's it. You still got to put in skill to get what you want inside the game. But this person believes since they spend money, they deserve to have every loot and stuff in the game for ease. They say, I am someone who play a lot of Destiny and has spent a lot of money on Destiny and still did it this year, even at the state of the game. Because I was about to give up the game last episode until I saw what Bungie promised with the Edge of Fate and Renegades. I have actually finally enjoyed being able to earn good weapons and armor that allows me to finally do my first ever Grandmasters. So now, keep in mind, y'all come at the 1%ers. This is a casual player that says they love the portal. This is a casual player, not a content creator. All of the content creators have been saying they hate the portal and everything, including myself. It's been implemented badly and stuff. This is a casual player that says they love the portal. When Bungie first introduced it before Edge of Fate came out, they was already interested, and that's why they bought Edge of Fate. These are the players that Bungie targeted, okay? Because it's more casual friendly. They wasn't able to beat Grandmasters before Edge of Fate, and people thought I was just talking out my ass about Grandmasters was hard to casual players in the game before Edge of Fate. If you thought Grandmasters was easy before Edge of Fate, you are a gamer, okay? You're not a casual. There are a lot of players out there, they was not able to beat Grandmasters. They had to get carried. They did not know how to do Grandmasters. And, you know, I did a stream the other day carrying people to top 10% to get their helmet during the Call to Arm events. And, I love everybody that did show up and stuff. But there's a lot of people that I carried that day where they died in ultimate difficulty. You know, and ultimate difficulty is easier than what Grandmaster was before Edge of Fate because we was able to put on boons and stuff. They was dying inside ultimate difficulty. They builds weren't great. It was bad, I'll be honest. Their builds was bad. They was rocking double primary. They was missing fragment slots on some of their builds and stuff, and I don't know why. But yeah, there's a lot of casual players out there that just cannot do hard in-game content, okay? Which just goes to show that Bungie made the whole custom modifiers for casual players. It wasn't made for the 1%ers that a lot of you guys acclaim it to be. But they say because it's more casual friendly. I have reached Guardian rank 9 because I can choose modifiers on things that allow me to choose my months. Choose my playstyle. My bad. They finally made it fun, but they lost too many players, and now it's so hard to get people to want to give it another shot, even though they made so many good decisions in the last few months with some bad bugs and fuck ups. Of course, they still ain't perfect. But what we are left with now is a bunch of streamers crying over people actually allowed to enjoy the content they pay for. And you are not the one to choose what I can have or not just because you want to stroke your ego so hard. Just be happy with your gilded titles, top 1% emblems, and focus on yourself rather than whining over casual players with 90% less time than you getting what they paid for. Okay, they thought they ate for real, but they didn't. This is a good example of most of the casual hate comments I get. There's a lot of them. Okay, so again, if you don't resonate with what this person just said, most likely you're not a casual player in the community. You're a gamer. There's people out there that thinking I'm putting 10 to 12 hours in this game. I hop in this game for like 2 hours throughout the week. Sometimes I hop on the game on Destiny multiple days out the week, but recently I only hop on Destiny probably once a week. During this event, I hopped on probably like 3 times a week. Before this event, I was rarely on Destiny. I hopped in to play Festival Lost probably like 3 times during the whole time the event was here. So like, I'm not even a person that been putting in. I don't put 10, 12 hours into Destiny. When Edge of Fate first came out, the most time I was putting in Destiny to get all my loot and stuff was probably like 6 hours. But like, yeah, there's casual players out there that just really think they're sweaty content creators out here that's putting like 10 to 12 hours in Destiny. We're not. We're just gamers. And the fact this person said they finally made it fun to play this game solely because they finally able to beat the content because it's easy. I don't know. Me personally, as a gamer, growing up with gaming in general, growing up playing, the first Super Mario Brothers, the first Sonic the Hedgehog, playing on the NES and all type of stuff. My gamer mentality always been, if a level is difficult to beat in a game, that's the fun part. You got to get better at the game, and then when you finally beat it, you feel accomplished. I don't see the fun in being able to beat everything in the game easily. There should always be some type of challenge in the game, and I feel like in-game content should always be challenging. but this person was mad that they couldn't enjoy in-game content because they was bad at the game, and they spent money to, play the game, and now they finally happy that they are able to play the quote-unquote in-game content and get the best loot in the game with ease. So this is what Bungie made the custom modifiers for. The tryhard players, the 1% y'all say, we had no issue with the custom modifiers because we knew what modifiers to put on, and right now the game was easier with the custom modifiers than what they did now with the fixed deltas they have in the game now. Us gamers, we knew how to do the modifiers where the hardest missions in the portal was still like at power delta with us, so we was able to speed through everything without having to try. Now every content on ultimate difficulty is -30, so we have to put some type of effort in. We ain't try harding, but we have to put some type of effort in, or we're just not going to be doing good. So the casuals whined about the modifiers because they didn't know how to do the system, and sure enough, they whined. Bungie changed it to fixed deltas, and some of them are still whining because they still can't handle ultimate difficulty. But the crazy part is if they just learned the modifiers from videos of people putting out there, since they didn't know how to do the modifiers, they could have been doing ultimate difficulty at power level and getting the best loot in the game with ease without any type of difficulty. But this is what happens when people complain and don't want to learn the game. That's what it is. And just to show that, tryhards didn't ask for this, there are people out there saying tryhard asked for this difficulty. The 1%ers asked for difficulty. They asked for this grind. When Edge of Fate first came out with Mythic, literally everybody was like, this is not the way, Bungie. No one liked bullet sponges. No one asked for bullet sponges. All the content creators said it. I said it. Even other loyal players in the game said it. We did not like Mythic. And we said the only way we would accept Mythic inside the game with the bullet sponges and stuff is if the rewards equal the effort. But it didn't. You would do like a 40-minute run of Mythic just to get one tier 5 loot. When if you spend 40 minutes into an activity, you should see like a good 4, maybe even 5 pieces of loot dropping for you that's like tier 5 from you sweating. Okay, so don't say the tryhards be wanting tryhard difficulty in the game like that. We literally spoke up against it when it first happened, and there's plenty of proof on it. I spoke on it. Other content creators spoke on it. You can easily find it. Okay. And when freaking 1% people ask for grind in the game, and I couldn't find a video, but there are plenty of content creators that literally said they wanted more grind in the game, and the casuals twisted that narrative and made it sound like, oh, the grind we want in the game is grinding for power level, when we never said we want power level grind in the game. When Bungie first introduced power level grind again, before Edge of Fate, we literally said we don't want that. Everybody in the community said they didn't want that. There was not one person that said, thank God power level's back in the game. There was not one person. Okay, and even if it was, they was happy for just 10 power level. They didn't want the extreme. Okay, when Bungie implemented this power grind, there was plenty of people that said this is too much. The only tryhards in the community that was like, I want this, were like Across them, and that was because they thought tier 5 loot was going to be exclusive to the top player. So meaning, you had to grind out to get the best loot in the game. But after Bungie made it that people was able to get tier 5 loot easier and stuff through events and whatnot, yeah, that opinion changed quick. And when people found out that once you get to the higher echelon of the levels, you had to put in hundreds of hours to get prime ingots, get your light level up, and immediately Across them was like, no, this is not the way to go. So I don't know where casuals getting the narrative that we asked for this type of grind. The grind that the tryhard players was asking for was loot grind. I spoke on it. Other content creators like Across them spoke on it. We wanted more loot in the game to grind for, and we wanted it to be behind difficult activities to do to get that loot. That's why we all loved when pinnacle weapons was around with Mountaintop and Not Forgotten and stuff, right? We enjoyed that, right? And we enjoyed doing Grandmasters as well, as long as the loot is worth it. But Bungie kept repeating the same loot over and over again before Edge of Fate. So Yeah, that's a whole myth. No content creator said, yeah, we want to grind power level when like this when Bungie freaking implemented in the portal. So that's another lie that a lot of the casual players I keep trying to spin on the 1%ers that we just never said. Okay, we lack content because the 1% hating the seasonal structure and pre-Edge of Fate. This comment right here is so silly to me because we all hated the seasonal structure that Bungie had. We had it for too long and it was getting boring. We all complained about how time gated them seasonal stories were, just for it to be us playing the same mission each week on Tuesday for like 5 to 10 minutes for them to barely give us any narrative and then say come back next week. We all hated that seasonal structure. I think people just want the lesser evil in this situation. And again, people when they hate something, they always feel like they need something or someone to blame for that issue. So people are just saying the content creators did this issue, or the quote unquote imaginary 1% they created in their head were the reason why this changed. No, we all, during that time, everybody community complained about it. Even the time getting thing, everybody complained about it, and then Bungie's like, okay, we're taking the time get away since everybody community complaining about it. And then when they took time get away, everybody be story quick, and then everybody's like, I'm bored, there's nothing to do in the game. So like, y'all, we all wanted it. This wasn't no 1% thing. Everybody in the community was spewing this during that time before Edge of Fate. There were content creators out there when Bungie said they're doing one raid and one dungeon each year now. There's a lot of them that said, we don't like that structure. We don't think it's going to work. Addercross said in his video as well, and I think Dotto said it as well. Like, there's a lot of people that's like, I don't know if that's going to stick for content wise. There's even content creators that spoke out about the seasons being called episodes. We all was like, including me, we all was like, those are just buzzwords. They just basically said we're getting less content. There's nothing gonna be special about episodes. They're gonna be exactly like seasons, just less content. And sure enough, we was right. It was less content than what they tried to make it sound out to be. So I'm just saying this just to show more examples of people be trying to bully the content creators, saying they the one that ruined the game, where there's plenty of clips out there proving that content creators was on board with majority of people in the game about it wasn't a good decision and everything. Like them supporting the community of what was good change for the game and what wasn't a good change for the game. And it's okay to think that a change is gonna be good for the game. With the stuff Bungie sold us with the portal, it did sound good at first. But then once you've seen what the portal was, it's okay for a content creator to be like, oh yeah, this is trash, this is not what I expected. That's okay to change your opinion. No one is stuck to their opinion on something before it comes out. We always iffy on the portal and wanted to know if it was good or not. Some people say it sounded good, some people say it sounded bad, but we wasn't gonna know till it came out. And when it finally came out, we finally got the answer. It was shit. I got a comment saying that the game have paywalls because of tryhard, the 1%. Bungie made the portal for it to be more free content in the game. Literally, we get a mid-season update that's free, which was Reclaim Ash and Iron, and we get another one of those during Renegade. Everything in the portal is literally free. The only thing in the game you got to pay for is the expansion if you want to enjoy the story, and you got to pay for the raid / dungeon for said expansion. But everything else is free in the game. Even the new Exotic mission was free, I believe, because it's in the portal. I have a player that commented on my video that was like, I love the portal because everything is free. I'm literally like 478 in the game right now, and I haven't spent a dime. I haven't bought the season pass. I just play all the activities in the portal. You got people that's enjoying, the dungeon layers because they don't have to buy no dungeon key to enjoy certain aspects of a dungeon. They're able to play it. So yeah, again, another example of the portal was made to be casual friendly, and that was Bungie's sole purpose, to be more, generous towards the casuals and the returning players. It wasn't meant for the loyal fan base. And before someone say, well, that's probably why, Ash and Iron was trash, because it was free. Keep in mind that Into the Light was free as well. That came with Onslaught and Pantheon, and that was amazing. So I don't know, we can say because this mid-season update Ash and Iron was free, that's why it was bad. I think it's just bad because Bungie had less workforce, so they don't have enough people to work on, very bountiful and immersive content for us. The 1% are content creators and tryhard / sweats. This is where I want to address the false narrative of the 1% community. There's no such thing as the 1% community. The casuals made that up to have someone to blame, point their fingers at and blame for whether them being bad at the game or a bad change in the game that they have no idea why Bungie implemented that change. When most of the change Bungie make is from player feedback, and majority of that feedback comes from the casual fan base whining, right? Call to arms prove it. The quote unquote 1% is actually just another word for a loyal fan base. The people that plays Destiny on a regular. And when I say on a regular, that don't mean you clocking in freaking a shift on Destiny. I ain't talking about clocking in 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever they love to say for us. The loyal fan base is just people that play Destiny on a regular throughout the week. Whether you hop on for 2 hours, 3 days out the week or something, you consider a loyal fan base. You have a loyal player of the fan base. You didn't leave the game when everybody stopped playing and stuff. You still kept playing Destiny in your spare time. You're part of the loyal fan base, right? And we're the ones that they hate about the game. So that's what the quote unquote 1% really is. It's not the tryhards. It's just people that play the game on a regular. And most of the people that play the game on a regular, most of them are gamers. They're not bad at the game. Basically, they know how to build craft. They know how to handle missions and stuff. And a good example of that is like the Call to Arm event. A lot of the people that was in the top 1% for the Call to Arm event weren't tryhards. Including myself, we wasn't freaking well skating or anything like that, doing speed runner strats. We just played the activity good with builds and stuff, and that's it. We was just good at what we was doing. Simple as that. We're just a gamer. Most of the top 1% people get considered try hard just because we're good at the game. I'll be honest. That's it. It's not because we are literally sweating and putting hours in the game. We're just good gamers. Okay. So that's the myth of the quote unquote 1%. If you're ever curious what they mean in the casual community of the 1%, it just means you're a gamer. You're a person you're a loyal fan of the Destiny franchise. Bungie need to cater to the broad, casual player base in the game if they want their game to succeed. They can't cater to the 1%. It's dying. This is like one of the most myth cop-out answer I've been seeing a lot now in the community about Bungie need to cater to the casuals to save their game. That is just a blatant lie, okay? In business, someone tried to check me on this too, and I had to make sure I throw the statistics at them. They was like, where's the receipts? I showed the receipt. In statistics, okay, statistically, the loyal fan base are the main ones that help a business strive. Right here on Google, I typed in loyal customers support businesses more 2025 study. It says, yes, a 2025 study by Sales Commerce confirms that loyal customers support businesses more, being more likely to spend more, recommend the brand, in this case, tell others to play Destiny, and make more purchases, buy more silver, the season pass and stuff. Studies highlight that loyal customers are 3.4 times more likely to recommend a brand, 9.8 times more likely to go out of their way to do business with it, and which was play the game, and 9.9 times more likely to spend more with it. Okay, like I said, silver and stuff, especially when brands align with customer values like sustainability. Loyal programs are also a major driver of this increased support, with customers valuing them highly and using apps associated with them frequently. Okay, and then they broke it down in bullet points, like loyal fan base. In this case, the loyal fan base of playing Destiny, they spend the most money. They more willing to recommend it to other people to play the game. And when Bungie accommodates them more, they spend more money, right? And then you got the actual website, an article by Electro IQ, right? That was done after 2024. So this study was done at the beginning of 2025, showing the statistics of the difference between how much a loyal consumer does for a business than the broad demographic of the business of like customers that's not loyal. They come and go, right? And if you go down here with Editor's Choice, they tell you loyal customers pay 43% more than non-loyals. So in Destiny terms, loyal players spend more time and spend more money on their game than loyal players. So I would be considered the loyal fan base because I play more in the game. I buy the expansions, I buy the season pass, I spend time in the game more than other people. The non-loyals would be the casuals that they touch the game, they may disappear for weeks in or months in, they may come back. They would be considered like returning players, new players, right? And in my comment section and from me carrying people, it's a lot of casual players. They don't buy the season pass. They don't have the new expansion. They just playing the game for free, right? They rarely buy, spend money on silver and stuff. So, yeah, for people that saying Bungie need to cater to the broad demographic instead of their loyal fan base, you kind of out your mind here. It's kind of proof. It's proof that the more you cater to your loyal customers for your business, the more you succeed. Okay, and they even said in this article too, in 2032, freaking businesses gonna be making this much more $1 billion from accommodating towards their loyal fan base, their loyal customers. But if you read more of this, it says that those companies that perform well in loyal programs grow revenue 2.5 times faster than competition. So if Bungie catered more to their loyal fan base, and the loyal fan base is not the 1%, it's just the people that play the game more regularly. Okay, if Bungie did that, their business would grow 2.5 times faster. Okay, Bungie used to do that with Forsaken and stuff, and that's why we had such a big fan base. Members of loyalty program provide 12 to 18% higher annual revenue growth than non-members. 52% of customers will go out of their way for brands they are loyal to, meaning they will play and support Destiny through like community events, charity, all that type of stuff, right? Loyal customers are 5 times more likely to make repeat purchases, meaning they are more likely to buy the expansions and pay silver and stuff more often, season pass more often. 5 times more likely to forgive mistakes, so when Bungie make an F up, they still there to play the game. 4 times more likely to refer others to play Destiny, and 7 times more likely to try new products, new expansion stuff. Bungie trying new things to see if it works out or not. 65% of a company's overall revenue comes from existing customers. I repeat, 65% of a company's overall revenue comes from existing customers. Bungie make most of their money from the loyal fan base, not from the broad fan base demographic that come and go as they're pleased when they play Destiny. They make over half of their money from the loyal fan base. 46% of loyal customers remain loyal to a brand even after a bad experience. 75% of consumers will feel more attracted to a brand if it offers a loyalty program, meaning if Bungie catered to the loyal fan base that keep playing their game on a regular, they would do a lot better. They would attract more. Okay, 88% of consumers say it takes at least 3 purchases to commit to being loyal to a brand. They're just saying basically if you spend money on Destiny 3 times, you're more likely to keep coming back to the game, basically. And then 77% of customers said that they had been loyal to the same brand for 10 years or more. That's why Bungie lasted for 10 years, because it was loyal to its fan base. Not the new players, the concurring players. Okay, and then again, you see this on the page. You can go look this up and read more about that with business. You see this even in other things. If you see like YouTubers that do Patreon or something, that YouTuber can have 1 million subscribers, but then you will see there's only like 100 Patreon supporters. They getting a lot of their money from that Patreon, not from the views that they get on a YouTube video. They're getting most of their money and support from the Patreon members. Even though it's only like 100 of them, even though they got 1 million broad demographic subscribers. I'm not saying just because you got 1 million subscribers, you're finna get 1 million views, but you may get like 100,000 views. Out of 100,000 views, they only getting 100 people on their Patreon that's actually supporting their business financially. When you watch a streamer, stream, they may have like 50,000 people watching, but out of 50,000 people watching, you may only have 100 of them that actually donating money, that's buying gifted subs and stuff, that's actually putting money on their plate. They getting supported by ads, sponsors. Again, that's not the majority. They getting sponsored, and the sponsors giving them all their money. because they supporting the brand. So I don't, and then even with the YouTube too, like I said, 1 million subscribers, but you only have a loyal of like 100,000 people watching you every day. It's not the broad demographic, it's the loyal fan base that loves your content. So I don't know where this ass backward mentality of Bungie need to cater to the broad demographic if they want to save their game. No, they don't. They need to appeal to the loyal fan base, which is not 1%. There's more than 1% people that are loyal to Bungie freaking fan base, whatever. They need to appeal to the loyal fan base, and if the loyal fan base love the game, they word of mouth is going to spread it to other people to play the game, and then they will become loyal players. Literally, there's 3 people in my community that's my friends now, Tachi, Mahad, Shabazz, and whatnot. They play Destiny now. And they started Destiny because they seen me streaming Destiny and seeing how much fun I was having with Destiny. They seen how many hours I put into Destiny when Bungie was catering to a loyal fan base of their game, right? And that got them into the game. And now they became loyal players of the game. I have a friend of my, I got most people in my clan that got put hip to Destiny because of word of mouth, because they seen me enjoying the game or others in my clan enjoying the game, and they wanted to play because of us hyping it up on how good it is. Right now, the loyal players, because they're being ignored in the game right now, we're not telling other people to play Destiny right now. We're not doing that. We're just playing Destiny at our own pace and trying to see what Bungie's idea of what they want their game to lead into right now. We're basically playing it by ear. But when Bungie did care about what the loyal fan base cared about, the community grew. Right now, they cater to the casuals, as the Call of Arms events proved it, when they was whining because they wasn't max level while the loyal fan base were max level. Bungie immediately heard them, changed the event, and then they ended up creating a bug, and it ended up sticking the middle finger to the face to the loyal fan base. And then Bungie had to scrap the whole competition and basically make it easier for everybody to get the rewards, which was another middle finger to the, the major fan base. So right now, all in all, Bungie gotta commit to their loyal fan base again, and you can tell they're doing that because they made a survey leak out there about SRL coming back or improving Gambit or making the game more freaking MMO with roaming the world, multiplayer stuff again. Y'all seen the leaks. They hearing what the loyal fan base been asking for the longest now, and they did a survey to try to basically get a post in the game again. So hopefully that does wonders again for the community of them listening to the loyal fan base and not the casuals that basically play Destiny as fast food content. They may be here for one day and then they gone for weeks again. That's not a good business. Everybody knows that, okay? That's just common sense. But as I learned in the Destiny community, common sense not so much common anymore. But this leads to my last topic. Like I said, there's no such thing as a 1%. The game has diehard fans, loyal fan base, loyal players, and that's what the 1%, the casuals, are calling it. And then the casuals are the ones that basically touch the game probably for like a few days and they disappear for weeks, and then they may come back again when something interesting happens. Those are the casual players, okay? Stop pointing fingers at content creators and the loyal fan base. They're not the reason why Bungie led the route they did. Bungie was trying to compete with the competitors like Diablo and them, and they was trying to accommodate to the casual players. And that's why the game ended up going the route that they did. They was trying to care about people's time they spend in the game. They was trying to care about ease of use to play the game. They was trying to care about their competitors. A lot of it led to multiple things. And a lot of lying too about what the portal was going to have, and then the portal ended up not having it on launch day, as I showed you guys as well. So there's a lot of things that led to the downfall of the portal, but without a doubt, it wasn't because of content creators or the loyal fan base that y'all call tryhards. It was definitely because of Bungie sentiment towards the people in the community that whines about, not being good at the game or not having friends to play with or stuff like that, okay? Some of y'all opinions are valid, but a lot of you guys, it does comes down to just whining. But as I always say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. Hope you guys enjoyed this talking point. I know it was a little bit long, but I needed to get rid of this propaganda that I'm keep seeing the casual players regurgitate that is just completely wrong. I had to shut it down with some evidence and proof and whatnot. Anyway, stay up.